We are doing a tutorial and playthrough of the game Doom Machine by Nathan Munier. Guys, this game is amazing. I've been playing this game a lot off camera and I really think you're going to enjoy it, so stick around, dudes. This game comes in a nice little mint tin, as you can see right here, and all the stuff is already laid out on the table. Let's hop right into it, dudes, and I'll show you how to play this amazing game. So first of all, you're going to notice we've got two little tracker cards right over here. The one on the left tracks the Doom Machine's sentience and power, which are a couple of attributes that the Doom Machine has that will affect how much damage it does at certain points in the game. Over here on this one, we've got a little tracker card for our player health, and that starts at 10 HP right there. We also have a little spot for some shields up here, 4 shield dice slots, as well as 6 utility dice slots down below, 3 to modify dice values, either up 1 number or down 1 number, and also 3 little slots right here to re-roll dice. So there we go. On the flip side of this card, if you're so inclined, you can play on a hardcore mode where you only have 3 shield and you only have 4 utility slots instead of 6. But for this playthrough and tutorial, we're going to be going on the easy mode or the normal mode right here. So we're going to be starting with 10 health, and this is how you set up the deck. So essentially, guys, you're trying to destroy the Doom core, which is the core of the Doom Machine. And the Doom Machine, it's going to town ravaging humanity, guys. There's some pretty brutal graphics artwork on some of these cards, dudes, you're going to see soon enough. And we need to try to take down the Doom Machine and get to the core of the Doom Machine, which is this card right here, the Doom core. And we need to destroy that before it destroys us. So the first thing you're going to want to do is set the Doom core card aside. You're going to shuffle up the rest of the cards here. These are the Doom Machine pieces here. Let's go ahead and shuffle all of these up. You're going to take 6 of them face down without looking, and you're going to put them into the game box or set them off to the side so they're out of the way. And then you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards remaining, and the Doom core for a total of 10 cards. You're going to put the Doom core on the bottom of the pile right here and place it over this way. This is going to make up the cards for the Doom Machine for this playthrough. So as you can see, every time you play the game, you're going to end up with different Doom Machine parts that you have to fight through. Okay, good stuff. So you're going to start with your 5 black dice here. You always start with these, and you'll be able to roll these right from the get-go. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to start the game, and what you're going to want to do is reveal the top 3 cards of the Doom Machine deck right here. So we're going to flip those over, and then you'll notice each card is going to have a bunch of symbols on it, but don't be overwhelmed. I'm going to describe exactly to you what is going on here. So as you can see on the Soul Harvester, it has a yellow 3 right here. So that is how much health the card has. So we're going to take one of these little yellow dice and we're going to place it right there. On the Logic mainframe, it has 4 health. So we're going to do the same. Place a yellow 4 right there. And then we've got the Infernal Power Complex, which is a 3 health machine part right there. So what we're going to do here, guys, is we're basically going to alternate between two sections of the turn, rather. So there's going to be the player's turn where we get to roll dice and allocate our dice. And then there's going to be the Doom Machine's turn where it gets to attack us. So what you're going to want to do is take your 5 black 6-sided dice. We're going to roll these. And we're basically trying to make combinations here on the cards to deal damage. So you'll notice next to the life die here, the yellow die on each card, there's a little yellow box with some dice in it. So for instance, on the Infernal Power Complex, it says 1 + 1 + 1. So in order for us to deal 1 damage to the Infernal Power Complex, we have to put 3 dice on this card that each have the value of 1. So right now we only rolled 1 that has the value of 1. So we're probably not going to go for that. On the Logic mainframe, it says question mark equals question mark, which means that whatever value we put down, which could be any number 1 through 6, we need to have the same value on the other side. So for instance, if we had 2 1s, we could put that 2 2s, 2 3s, 2 4s, and so on and so forth. Over here on the Soul Harvester, it says question mark plus question mark equals question mark. Do you feel like you're in school again? All you got to do here is you would add these numbers to equal the sum. So for instance, if we put 1 + 3 equals 4, which it does, we would deal 1 damage to the Soul Harvester. Now, something else to keep in mind before we start placing our dice is whenever it's the Doom Machine's turn, they will attack. And what's going to happen then is this little dice right here that has the health marked on it is going to move down this track. So you can see every one of these cards has these little slots right here that you move down on the track. And it has a symbol on each slot that corresponds to a little action over here. And it's going to tell you exactly what it does. So for instance, on the Infernal Power Complex, when it moves down onto this eye icon with the lightning bolt, it says +1 power and +1 sentience. So the little markers over here are going to move up to 1 sentience and 1 power on the tracker card over here. For the logic mainframe, when it moves up onto the eye icon, it's going to gain +1 sentience. So another sentience over here. It's starting to become self-aware. And then the Soul Harvester, when it moves down onto this little multi-pointed star symbol right here, it's going to deal 5 damage. And that is half of our health. So you may be thinking, holy crap, that's not good. How do you stop that? Shields, dudes. So you can take your dice and you can allocate them to the shield slots. So what we're going to do here is, since I know that I'm going to be taking 5 damage next turn, I'm going to take my 5 and I'm going to lock it in to one of these shield slots. So when the Doom Machine attacks, it's going to deal its damage to the shields before it deals it to your hit points. So you always have the option to gain shields. And of course, you're limited by the 4 shield slots right there. And as the game progresses and more Doom Machine parts are on the table, you're going to be taking increasingly more damage as the game goes on, so you're going to want to make use of those shield slots for sure. Okay, and then another thing that you can do, of course, as mentioned, is the utility slots. So I'll explain those in a little more detail. So let's say we want to change one of our dice. If we wanted this 1 to change, we could set it on one of these and change it to a 2. Now, in this instance, I don't necessarily want to do that, but that's how that would work, and you could do it vice versa with the other dice. You can make them go higher or lower. So we could change this 4 either into a 5 or make it go down to a 3. Now, 1s can only ever go up to a 2. You can't go back in the opposite direction and change it to a 6. And same thing with the 6. The 6 can't change into a 1. It can only go down to a 5. So there we go. So we got the rest of our dice. We need to figure out where we want to allocate these. And this thing is going to be dealing a lot of damage. It's also got a lock symbol, which means it's going to lock up our dice, and I don't like that. So I kind of want to take this thing down. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 1 + 3 equals 4, and that deals 1 damage to this machine part, the Soul Harvester. So now it goes down to 2 health, and we'll take these dice and set them right below the card to show that we've used up those dice. Now we have a 6, and unfortunately, we can't really put that anywhere to do anything with it. So we're just going to stick it on the shield slot, you know, just for fun. There's nothing else to really do with it. So we're going to go ahead, take our dice back, and now the Doom Machine is going to attack. So as mentioned, each of these dice is going to move down 1 slot on the track, and he's going to get +1 power and +1 sentience from the Infernal Power Complex. So we're going to go ahead and move the little cubes up onto the 1 on each of those. And then this moves down here on the Logic Mainframe, +1 sentience. So the Doom Machine is now at 2 sentience. And then for the Soul Harvester, it's going to inflict that 5 damage as mentioned, but we're going to soak that up with our shields. And there we go. That is the end of that round. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take each of the parts of the Doom Machine and you're going to slide them over from left to right, just like this. And you're going to take the next card in the Doom Machine pile and flip it face up. And this one is the design flaw. It has 4 health, so you'll take a yellow dice and place it right there on the health marker. And there we go. You continue the game just like this. So we're going to take our dice, we're going to roll again and see what we can get here. I'm knocking my health everywhere. We've got, let's see, a couple of 6s, a 5, a 4, and a 1. So let's see. This design flaw is going to deal 3 damage on its next turn. So we know we want to mitigate at least 3 damage. That's going to go to a blank, so nothing's going to happen. That's going to give +1 sentience. And this is going to lock 1 die when it moves onto the lock icon. So we need to stop 3 damage. So we're going to go ahead and take our 4 and place that on a shield slot, and that should cover us for damage next turn. So now we're going to figure out what we want to do here as far as putting damage on this. I think what I want to do is go 1 + 5 equals 6 right here, and that's going to do another damage to the Soul Harvester, bringing it down to 1 HP remaining. And of course, we've got our 1 dice left over, and we can't put it anywhere, so we're just going to go ahead and put it on a shield slot right there. Now, the Doom Machine is going to attack. It is going to move down 1 on the design flaw, dealing 3 damage, bringing this down to 1 on our shields. The Infernal Power Complex is going to move down onto a blank space, so nothing happens. The Logic Mainframe is going to move onto an eye, gaining +1 sentience for the Doom Machine, putting it at 3. And the Soul Harvester is going to move down 1 onto this little lock symbol, which says lock 1 die. So we're going to go ahead and take this die, and I'm just going to set it right there on the corner of that card to show that it is locked. And we only have 4 dice right here. So you may be wondering, How do you gain more dice? You do gain more dice, as a matter of fact, and you do that anytime you destroy one of the machine parts. So this one's getting pretty close to being destroyed, the Soul Harvester. So when I bring this down from a 1 to a 0, we're going to acquire this die as part of our dice pool. So we'll have more dice to roll on future turns, and you'll accumulate more dice as the game goes on, as you destroy more machine parts. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to move over these pieces right here, and we're going to get a new piece to the Doom Machine. And as you can see already, it's starting to get pretty dicey. There's already 5 pieces of the Doom Machine out on the table, and this is the pulse pools with 3 health right there, just like that. So unfortunately, we only have 4 dice to roll now because the Soul Harvester has one of our dice locked up. So let's go ahead and roll, and we're going to check out the Doom Machine parts and see what they're going to be doing next turn. So this is going to add +1 power on the pulse pools when it moves onto the battery. This is going to deal 3 damage. That is going to add power and sentience. This is going to move onto one of these black spaces, and whenever that happens, the dice immediately moves back up to the start of the track. And then over here, the Soul Harvester is going to move onto a damage space, dealing 5 damage. So we're going to take 8 damage next turn. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of the dice on the utility, the number 2, and we're going to bring it up to a 3. I'm going to put a 5 on the shields over here, and I think I'm also going to use the 2 utilities here. I'm going to change the 2 up 1 into a 3, and I'm going to use my last one right here to change the 4 down to a 3, just like that. So I'm going to take one of these 3s and put it on the shield, so we have 8 total shield, and then I'm going to take these other 2 3s, and the logic mainframe says question mark equals question mark. So I'm going to go 3 equals 3, and we do 1 damage to the logic mainframe, bringing it down to 3 health, and this will go down here. And now the Doom Machine will retaliate. So it's going to move down 1 on the pulse pools, gaining 1 power for the Doom Machine, bringing it up to 2 power. The design flaw is going to move down and inflict 3 damage. So there goes 3 damage from our shields. The Infernal Power Complex is going to move over 1 onto the eye with the lightning bolt and gain 1 sentience and 1 power. Yikes. So it's up to 4 sentience and 3 power. The logic mainframe is going to move onto a black space, which means that it's going to refresh and go to the beginning of the track again. And then the Soul Harvester is going to move 1 onto a deal 5 damage space, and we're going to soak that up with our 5 shields, just like that. And that is the end of the round. So we're going to get our dice back down here. We're going to move over each of the machine parts, and we're going to draw a new machine part, and we're going to have 6 of the machine parts out in play, dudes. It is crazy. We haven't destroyed any parts yet. Really want to try to get that Soul Harvester down at the end out of the game. So the Synaptic Disruptor comes out, and it has 4 health right there. So let's go ahead and roll our dice. Need to try to get rid of the Soul Harvester this turn so we can get an extra dice to roll. Okay, and it's question mark plus question mark equals question mark. So I think we're probably going to do 1 plus 3 equals 4, but let's see how much damage we're going to take next turn and see what we need to do as far as shields go. So the Synaptic Disruptor is going to give us +1 sentience. It's going to get +1 power from the pulse pools. This is going to move onto a blank space. This is going to move back to the beginning. This is going to get +1 sentience, and that's going to move back to the beginning. So we're not taking any damage. Okay, that's amazing. So this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to go 1 plus 3 equals 4 on the Soul Harvester, destroying the Soul Harvester. Let's go. So we acquire that yellow dice, and the Soul Harvester is gone. We can go ahead and remove it from play. I'm also going to take our 1 and 6, and I'm going to put it here in the pulse pools that has a 1 plus 6 requirement right there. So that's going to deal 1 damage to the pulse pools, bringing it from 3 down to a 2, just like that. And that's it. And now the Doom Machine is going to retaliate. So it's going to move down 1 on the Synaptic Disruptor. It's going to gain 1 sentience and go up to 5. The pulse pool is going to move down 1. It's going to gain 1 power. Dude, it's powering up. And then this is going to move over 1 on the design flaw into a blank space. The Infernal Power Complex is going to move onto a black space, which refreshes it to the beginning of the track. And the logic mainframe is going to move down 1 and gain +1 sentience, dude. Uh-oh, it's waking up, guys. All right, now we're going to get our dice back. We're going to slide the machine parts down, and we're going to add another piece to the machine. So I'm sure you guys are catching on by now, right? We've done several rounds. You can see how this goes, guys. It seems maybe a little daunting and intimidating at first because there's so many little symbols and everything on the cards, but it's fairly simple. All right, here we go. We've got the Impact Nexus. It's going to have 4 HP, and we need to see how much damage we're going to take next turn, but let's go ahead and roll first. Okay, so we got our dice rolled. It says deal 1 damage for every part card in play. Yikes. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts in play. So that's going to deal 6 damage next turn. So let's go ahead and get 6 shield right there going. This is going to deal, what does it say? It says deal damage plus or equal to sentience. There's a little bit of a glare. Is it equal to sentience? Yeah, deal damage equal to sentience. So dang, another 6 damage. That is not good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this yellow die on the utility and bump it up to a 6. We'll hang on to that. This is going to deal 3 damage. Dude, this is going to be a painful turn. This is also going to deal 3 damage. That's not going to deal any damage, and neither is that. So we're taking 6 more damage right there. So I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to a 5 right here on the utility. And we'll go ahead and put those on our shields. So we have a total of 17 shields. And we just have a few dice left over here. What do we want to go for? This guy is pretty gnarly right here. So I think I want to start going for that. So I'm going to go 3 equals 3. It's going to deal 1 damage and bring this down from 4 to a 3, just like that. And we have 1 die left over and we can't put it anywhere, unfortunately. So you know what? We'll just put it on our shields. I think that'll soak up at least 1 extra damage for us. We should have 1 shield left at the end of next turn. So the Impact Nexus is going to attack. It is going to move down. It's going to do 1 damage for every part in play, and there are 6, so it's going to do 6 damage. Boom, there goes 6 of our shield. This is going to move down the synaptic, that's tough to say, the synaptic disruptor, and it's going to deal damage equal to sentience, which is 6, so there goes 6 more right there from the synaptic disruptor. The pulse pool is going to move over. It is going to deal 3 damage, so it's going to bring this down to a 2, so we have 4 shield remaining. This is going to move over on the design flaw to deal 3 damage. We're going to have that 1 shield remaining, as mentioned just a moment ago. The Infernal Complex is going to move down, gaining 1 power and 1 sentience to the Doom Machine. And then the Logic Mainframe is going to move down and gain another sentience. Oh my gosh, dude. It is almost completely self-aware. It is at 8 sentience and 5 power so far. And that is it, guys. That is the end of that round. We're going to go ahead and move down the machine parts here. And we're going to bring out another part, and we're getting pretty close to the Doom Core. I think there's only a few more pieces left here. There we go. We'll move those down. And we've got the Extinction Collider. Crazy stuff. Okay, so this has 6. Whoa. That is a lot of health. So we got 6 health on the Extinction Collider here. And we get to roll a whole heap of dice. Let's go ahead and roll and see what we got here. So the Extinction Collider is going to move onto a deal damage equal to power next turn, which is 5. So we're definitely going to want at least 5 shield. That is going to recycle, that's going to recycle, that's going to recycle, that is going to recycle, that's going to move on to a blank, and that's going to recycle. Okay, good. So we just need to block the 5 damage right there on our shield. And we've got a bunch of dice left over that we can use. I think I want to start taking out this Impact Nexus, right? Because that's dealing a ton of damage. So we're going to go ahead and do 5 equals 5, and that is going to do 1 damage to it, bringing it down to a 2. We're also going to do a 5 equals 5 again, bringing it down to a 1 because you can hit the same part multiple times in a turn. And then that leaves us with this 1 dice left over, which we'll just put on our shields for fun right there. Okay, cool. Or you know what I could do actually, guys? I'm going to use this 1. I'm going to put it on the reroll utility. So we're going to go ahead and reroll. And we got a 2, and there's nowhere we can put the 2. Okay, all good. So we're going to go ahead and have the Doom Machine retaliate now. It's going to move down 1 on the Extinction Collider, and it deals damage equal to power, which is 5. It knocks off our 5 shield. The Impact Nexus moves onto a black space, so it refreshes. The Synaptic Disruptor moves onto a black space, it refreshes. Same for the Pulse Pools. The Design Flaw will move back up. Once you get to the end, you just go right back up to the first square where the health started. The Infernal Power Complex is going to move onto a blank. And then the Logic Mainframe is going to move onto a black space, and it is going to refresh back to the beginning. There we go. Okay, not too bad. A lot of machine parts refresh, which means they're primed to pop off on the next turn. So here we go. We're going to move all of the pieces down 1 space, just like this. We're going to draw a card, and we are 1 away from the core of this Doom Machine, the Misery Extractor. That looks brutal right there, dude. So we're going to go ahead and put 6 health on this one. Yikes. A lot of health on these last 2 machine parts are here. Let's go ahead and grab our dice. We're going to roll. And we're going to see how much damage we might potentially take on the next turn. We didn't roll very high, unfortunately. It says that it's going to deal damage equal to the HP of the left adjacent part. Well, there isn't anything to its left, fortunately, so we're not going to take any damage from that. The Extinction Collider is going to move onto a +1 power. The impact nexus is going to move, down, and it says deal 1 damage for every part card in play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts in play. Not good. We're going to set at least a 6 over there. We still need 2 more, so we're taking 8 damage so far. This is going to add +1 sentience, +1 power. This is going to deal 3 damage, so that's 11. And these are going to add sentience and power over here. So we're taking 11 damage total. So I'm going to go ahead and put this 4 on a utility and bump it up to a 5, just like so. And now we need to figure out what we want to do with the rest of our dice here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 equals 2 right here on the impact nexus, which is going to destroy it. So we're going to add that dice to our dice pool. It also destroys this machine part. Okay, so we've taken down 2 parts so far, and we still have 2 3s left over here. And I think what I'm going to do is put those down at the end, and we're going to go 3 equals 3 on the logic mainframe to do 1 damage to bring it down to 2 right there, just like that. And now the Doom machine is going to retaliate once again. So this is going to move down. It's going to do damage equal to the health of the machine part to the left of it, but there isn't one, so it does no damage. This is going to move down 1 on the Extinction Collider and get +1 power, bringing it up to 6. The Synaptic Disruptor is going to move down 1, gaining 1 sentience right here. Oops, so that actually moves up to a 9. This is going to move down 1 on the Pulse Pools over a +1 power symbol, moving this up to a 7. We're going to move the Design Flaw down 1. It's going to deal 3 damage here. Oh, I forgot to put this utility up here on the shields. I totally meant to do that. So we're going to move this down to a 2 right here. There we go. And was that the Design Flaw? Yeah, it was the Design Flaw. And then we've got this one over here. We're going to move... I feel like we didn't take the right amount of damage. Is it because we destroyed this card? Oh, yeah, right. It's because we destroyed the Impact Nexus. That was going to deal a ton of damage. Okay, that's what I'm thinking here. Okay, perfect. Then the Infernal Power Complex is going to move over 1, and it's going to gain +1 power and +1 sentience. It is at 8 power, and it's at full sentience right now. Holy moly. And then the Logic Mainframe is going to move down 1 and give +1 sentience, but it's already completely sentient at this point. So the last couple of pieces are going to slide over at the end of the round here, and there it is, dudes. The Doom core has been activated. It's got 4 health right there. There we go. We just need to destroy this thing, and we're good to go here, guys. So we've got all of our dice right here. We've got 7 total dice now. It's getting really close to the end. Let's go ahead and roll, see what we get. All right, let's see how much damage we're going to take. The Doom core is going to do damage equal to sentience plus power. 18 damage, guys. The Doom core does not play. 18 damage. The Misery Extractor, it says it's going to deal damage equal to the HP of the leftmost, or the left part next to it. That's 4 right there on the Doom core, so that's 22 total damage. This is going to deal damage equal to power, which is 8, so that's 30 damage. Dudes, I think we might be dead. This is going to deal damage equal to sentience. Oh my god. 40 damage. That's going to add a power. That's going to add 3 damage, so 43. That's going to reset, and that's going to add a sent. 43 damage. Guys, this is the end, but we're going to play it out anyways. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put that on the shield. I'm going to bump this 4 up to a 5. We're going to move that to the shield, and we're going to bump this 3 up to a 4 and move that to the shield as well. Dang, dude. And then the last ones, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and we're going to do 1 + 1 + 1 and put 1 damage on this thing over here just for fun. And that leaves our last dice, and I guess we'll just throw it on the shields. Because why not? And here we go, guys. This is going to move down. It's going to deal 18 damage, sentience plus power from the Doom core. So that is 11 plus 5 is 16. So we take 2 damage, bringing us down to 8. This is going to move down 1 on the Misery Extractor, and it says deal damage equal to the HP of the left machine part, so 4 damage. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We are at 4 HP. The Extinction Collider is going to move over, and it's going to deal damage equal to power, which is 8. And that is plenty enough to bring us down to 0 health, and we have been overcome by the Doom Machine. There it is, dudes. Doom Machine by Nathan Munier. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and playthrough video. If there's any questions that you have, feel free to leave those down in the comments below. I think I pretty much covered everything in the video, but like I said, if you have anything that you're unsure about, be sure to leave those comments down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Very fun game, dudes. It's got like an element of Farkle to it. If you've ever played the dice game Farkle, it sort of reminds me of that, but way cooler. The theme of the game is incredible. The art is incredible. And it's just, the gameplay is super fun. And it's very strategic. I really like trying to figure out how much damage you're going to take, how many dice you need to allocate to shields, and all that kind of stuff. Which parts are more of a priority to get rid of. Really cool stuff, guys. So, and it's going to be different every time you play because you remove machine cart parts. So there's also machine part cards that you didn't even get to see over here. So very cool stuff, guys. There we go. If you like the game and you want to pick up your own copy of Doom Machine, you can head over to thegamecrafter.com and pick up your own copy of Doom Machine. This is not a sponsored video, but that's where you got to go if you want to pick it up. Dudes, if you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up like button. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit the red subscribe button and click the bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload a brand new video. And I upload videos just like this all the time. There should be another one popping up on the end screen right about now. Feel free to go check that out. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.